Okay, time for level 3 of the new map set from Spear Resurrection, the SDL version. This level is called Instant Action, and the reason I called it that is simply because as soon as you walk out of the elevator, you're plunged right into the middle of a firefight. Thankfully the guards aren't right there in the room with you when you do exit the elevator, but they're to your left, they're to your right. There are torches blocking their immediate access to you, but they can get to you via corridors around the edges. And funny enough, the AI of Wolfenstein, it's a funny thing. They seem to come to you from one side of the central part of the level, but not from the other side, at least not straight away. It's just one of those AI things, and sometimes you can use that to your advantage when you're playing a level. Anyway, into the game. I decided to start this level with just a pistol. Let's face it, most of the time a player gets killed in Wolfenstein, they reload their last save, so they've got all their weapons and things like that. Often a person will start a new level with all the weaponry and so forth they've inherited from the last level. And let's face it, the levels originally were designed for you to start, with only a pistol and 8 ammunition. I like to make a level so that it can be beaten by starting with only the basics at the start. And as such, often in my levels I like to put a machine gun near the start, or a chain gun, or MCS weapon, whatever it might be. But before we go talking too much, or before I go talking too much, let's get into the level, otherwise this video will be too long. Okay, there's a guard, and this is one of the things I must say before I go any further. One of the things I love about Wolfenstein is that guards can be on guard patrol. You can have them patrolling an entire level. You can use the guard vectors in the map editing program to set a pathway, to go through doors, through different rooms. You can have as many enemies as you want marching around. And Doom didn't have that. That was one of the great things about Wolf. Using that feature when you make a level, you can make it so that each time the player plays the level, the game can be slightly different. Anyway, this guy's on patrol outside here. I'm going to use the knife. It's a stealth weapon, so the other enemies won't hear me when I kill him. And I'll just wait back here because I'm sure he's just back and forth, pacing back and forth along this little corridor. Yep. Okay, as soon as I leave this doorway to the left and to the right, there's a heap of enemies. And we'll have a quick glance at those as we run out. First of all, you can see them up there and up there. I've got only the basic ammo, so I'm going to grab ammo. I will need that, and then I'll go over here. I think, here they come. The funny thing is, I was saying before about the AI in Wolfenstein, is that although they will see or come from this direction, they won't seem to come over from this way. I don't know exactly why that is. As I say, it's just an AI thing as far as I understand. But anyway, that makes it a bit easier, and I really recommend for the first part of this level, just hanging back in the central part and picking them off as they come towards you. You could run out here and try and take them on, but they will be coming from both that direction, and you'll find yourself in the middle of a crossfire. So look, I recommend really hanging back. I think I've got most of the guys in that are coming up from this direction and that direction, so I'll run out, run over here, one straggler. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I've pretty well cleared this side of things. You will notice if you look up there, there's wooden columns that block the pathway, that those guys can't cross over and get into this area. So these guys can, however, through that door the guy's going through or about to go through, they come up behind this wall and up to this door here. And look, behind this wall here and behind this wall here now, there's a heap of enemies, and I just know it. If I run out there now, yeah, you can just see them. They're just waiting there. And they're coming from that side as well. So if you run out there, you're just asking to get yourself shot to pieces. And the AI, for some reason, I don't know why, they're just hanging back here. The only way to really get them to come to you is stick your head out every so often and draw them to you. Just like that. Now there's still, I'd say easily a dozen enemies outside there. I'm not going to be silly. I do like to make levels that involve the player having to use a bit of stealth, not just rushing around into the next room, shooting everything that moves, running into the next room, shooting everything again. I like the design of the level to offer a bit of a challenge, and so that the player does have to think their way through the level and think about the best way to approach it. It looks quite out there. I know it wouldn't be if I ran out there. Ultimately, I'm going to have to run out there. Let's go and see what's out there waiting. Okay. You can see still quite a few guys, but thankfully, they're all up. They're all up in one direction. Grab all the ammo clips. They're all coming from that way, or they all were coming from that way. If they were coming from both ways, I would have just ran back in here. And as I say, that's the whole reason for this central area. So you better grab these treasures up. It's easy to forget little things like that. There were 4 treasures. There's no push walls in this starting area. However, there is one on this other side over here, and you'll see that. Where do you think it would be? Is there anything that looks slightly out of place? And if you guessed right, yeah, that's the thing that's out of place. That's what I mean when I tried to mark all the push walls in this new map set, because I think, like a lot of players, people get sick of playing Wolfenstein, and every time they enter a new area, they've got to scan every single wall looking for a push wall. So I tried to make it a bit easier for the player that doesn't want to spend all day pushing along the edges of walls. This secret area here is a slimy, gooey, watery, wet, damp looking area. I normally associate that kind of thing with clones or mutants. In fact, for people that may not already know, I think most people would, but the clones are in fact just mutants. They've just got a different face paint, that's all. They were changed to that for the storyline. Oh, by the way, skull on the ground indicate push wall. So, yeah, basically, the storyline of Spear Resurrection is based after the war. And I thought, well, they haven't got all these poor prisoners that they can hideously torture and change into mutants. What are they going to use their source as? What's their source for all these clones? I could have used cemeteries, I don't know. But my sick sense of humour. Look, I had a toilet level hidden in the first Spear Resurrection. That says a lot about my sense of humour. And the clones, well, if you read the storyline, you can find out what their origins are. Okay, onto the level again. This door here opens to a room, the same room that this door opens to. And if you open here and start shooting, guys will come running out from here. So just be aware. There's the first one. Run back. They're going to be coming from this way. And there should be another one. Oh, copped a bit of damage that time. Okay, I'm going to grab that other health kit that's in the central part of the level. I lost a lot of health, that was foolish. Oh, there's a couple of health kits left. I thought I'd use 2 of them. Okay, back to the secret. This is a very symmetrical level too. So it's easy to get a little bit lost because of that reason. Treasures in here are all crosses and goblets. If there is an odd treasure like a chest or a crown, then you may suspect I put a push wall in there. There are a couple of mutants, or clones I should say, up here. Come on. And one more. Great. That gets rid of all those pests. Yeah, nothing else in here. No odd things. I mean, if there was a white column, for example, there, or some other top. Wait on. No. Nothing to indicate a push wall. You got to bear in mind, it has been over a year since I made these levels, so I do forget parts of them. I think where we have to go is over this way. As I was saying, it's a very symmetrical level, and let me just deal with these guys up here. Guy there, guy through there. this particular level, it's divided into 4 corners, you might say. This is one of the corners. That's another of the corners. It's an exact mirror replica or image of this area here, and on the very far side of the level over that way is an exact mirror reflection of this area. Each quarter I wanted the player to have to go to, I wanted to force the player to go to each quarter, and as such I put a key in each quarter. In this particular area here, it's the only quarter of these 4 that has an unlocked door here, and that leads to a key that you need. And then you've got to proceed to the next quarter to get another key, and so on. There are some goodies in each quarter as well. In this case it's ammunition, which we need, considering we started with only a pistol. Boxes on the corner, a bit out of place, so suspect there's a push wall, and sure enough there is. And I forget what's... oh good, ammo. Okay, that's handy. The floor coating behind this door in this room is exactly the same as the floor coating on a room in the very far opposite side of this level. In that room on the opposite side of the level there are some clones which will be activated as soon as you fire a shot with this door open. So in other words, the clones will start running through the level towards you, and when you go back out this way you're going to have a few clones to deal with. It's a bit of a trap. Look, I'm a bit of a coward. I'm going to save the game now. Let's do it. Save. And let's get ready to take these guys on. As I am going to try to conserve my ammo, and more importantly I suppose my health, I'm not going to be a hero and run in there and try and take them on. I'm just going to wait for them to come to me. There are some barrels I put in there, more so for decorative purposes than anything else. Look, I just shot them there. If you really wanted to be daring, you could try and run in and shoot the barrels and blow up the enemies, but I think you'll probably cop a lot of damage doing it that way. You can hear doors are opening in the distance. That's those clones I mentioned, and they'll be coming through this level. I'd better get over there quickly, because the longer we wait, the further into the level they will get, and I don't want them to get too far in. I know where they're coming from. That's why I'm running up this way. They'll be coming from down there, and in fact I don't think they have come up here, because that's right, there's a couple of guards that are def posted or guard posted just around the corner here, one over there, one just around the corner here, and if you haven't killed those guys yet, they will keep the clones in this area, because the clones can't get past them. So let's get rid of the guy. I'm going to wait here for the clones. In fact, I'll wait a fair bit back. It seems the further you are away from them, the less harm they can do, and anyone that knows mutants or clones knows that they you can cop a fairly heavy lot of damage from them at close range. So, and I think there's another 3 or 4 of them in this area. Plus there's a guard over there which we activated when we stuck our head around that corner, so he'll be running around on the other side of that brown wall and the columns there. So we'll just have to keep an eye out for him. I'm more worried about the clones at the moment. I know there will be more of them. They will be here. You bugger. I know you're in here. Where are you? That's that. Yeah, that's the other guy. Good, he's taken care of. I don't have to watch my back now. Now, yep, there's a whole heap of them. Look, I'm not going to stick my head out too far there. I'm just going to wait here for the buggers. And besides, if I stick my head around there and try shooting at them, you'll remember that problem I talked about with the torches in the playthrough of the first level. The torches take and soak up most of the shots. And so you're not actually shooting at the enemy, you're shooting the torches. One more clone. And some very handy health. Okay, what do I have? I think I'll have a big meal. Size me up for another big meal and a little snack. That brings me to 100%. Health area, or area I should say, treasure area in here, which you cannot access And I think a lot of Wolf designers love doing that kind of thing. You put a room or a secret area where you can't access straight away. It just lets the player know that somewhere in the level there's a way to access that. And it just adds a bit of interest to the level, I think. So